Hello, good evening, and welcome to yet another spectacular episode of Young Climber, where we tell the untold stories of Eswatini that you may know. And today we're bringing you the pageant queen of Eswatini, who is, of course, Miss Eswatini 2024-2025. I am talking about none other than Temvelo. She joins us to unpack her story and, of course, the journey of pursuing a formal education and still marrying it with being a pageant queen. Temvelo, welcome to Young Climber.
Thank you very much. Ngufusela Maswatini. I'm the current Miss Eswatini, and I must say it is an honor to be on your show today.
I'm very excited to tell your story because, we're seeing you at a time where there is an evolution in pageantry here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. But we'd just like to take it back to Temvelo growing up because that is what made you the woman that you are today. Let's just start from the beginning. What was it like growing up in a home that was filled with music, love, and unity?
Oh, that was the best time of my life. I have very beautiful memories. Of when I was a kid. I grew up in a home where it was my mom, my sisters, and my dad. My dad was a very, very warm gentleman. And our home was just filled with so much love. They'd play music on weekends. So my dad was also a good listener. That's why when I speak of a warm home, my dad was such a good listener. And he would cook for us on weekends. He'd fry meat, all of those things. And we'd sit on his lap and we'd tell stories. It was such a beautiful time.
And, I like that you speak so fondly about your dad. You've described your stepfather and that as someone who raised you like his own. What role did he play in shaping the woman that you are today? And some of the key lessons that you learned from the time spent together?
Right. Like I've said to you that my dad was a very warm person. I think one thing that I take from him, may his soul rest in peace, is the kindness. He's a very kind man. My dad was a very gentle, very loving. I've never seen him raise his voice at my mother. I've never seen him hit my mother. All of those things that people say are going on out there, I've never seen it at home. And he was such a good listener, with us girls around. And I don't know, I always sit and think, how did my dad handle being the only guy in the house when there's just females in the house, That was the setup. But most importantly, one thing about my dad, my dad, so I would always think about it. Now that I'm grown, it makes sense, and I see what he was doing. He was loved and adored by the community.
So
that was it.
And that softness, that warmth contributed greatly to you because I think the only reason you would excel in school is coming from a background where, you're appreciated. So, just to give back to the people who are showing me love. You've been fortunate enough to be just a straight A student, in your primary, in your high school. Can you take us through the journey of your early education and, of course, your higher education?
All right. Like I said, with great support from the family, a child can surely perform well.
Yeah.
When you come from a place where you are loved, you are nurtured, you are catered for, and you are supported and you're encouraged, the sky is not even the limit, So I started my preschool education at National Baptist Primary School. I think that was 2004, 5. Because after that, I then went to MDS Primary School. I did my grade 1 and grade 2. At the time, I was living with my mom, but they were in a relationship with my stepdad.
Yes.
So they got married just when I finished grade 2. And then we moved together as a family after that. And then I relocated to Ndlalambi, moved schools because we were living at Mbabane at the time.
Yeah.
And then we went to Ndlalambi, where I did my grade 3 to 7, and I completed there, and I got a merit pass. It was beautiful. And then I went to Mbabane again because my mother felt, I don't know, maybe she didn't have faith in the high schools that side, I don't know. But it was for that reason that she felt she needed me to be at a school where I could get exposure and obviously be encouraged to do exceptionally well in Form 5, as that was critical for me going into varsity. So I went and enrolled at Gashile 2013 to 2017, did my Form 1 to Form 5 there. And I remember when I was doing my Form 3, I got a first class. And then at Form 5, I got a 7 credits. Because I remember I had a D in phys chem. That was bad. But anyway, that was the long and short of it.
You then pursued your education now, your tertiary education, which you're currently enrolled in journalism and mass communication.
Yes.
As a 7 credit type of student, did you think you'd enroll in such a program, or did you have other plans and then now figure out because that happened oftentimes with all of the guests that I speak to. It's never really what they wanted, but they find themselves in it.
I think my life shifted dramatically there. I'd always thought I'd study agri-economics, and I thought I'd be the young girl. And God said, no, my child, you're actually a girl now. So getting into, I remember my first year when I was studying journalism. In the back of my head, I was thinking, am I going to be writing stories every day? Because to me, that is what journalism meant, And then there's something I discovered. I knew that whatever space that I'm in, I wanted to make a very significant contribution. It could be at work, it could be in my community, wherever I'm placed. But now the challenge was the Temvelo that was reading books in high school. She was not very good at speaking, and she was shy, But here's the thing now, with journalism, you will engage whether you like it or not. You'll speak in class, and at that time, the radio station Eswatini FM had just been introduced to school. And we were forced to go to radio. When you're a journalism student, you at least must do something there, So I discovered different elements of journalism. So the long and short of it, my understanding is that we're building someone that can relate with people of all walks of life. And that, for me, was what shifted my thinking and really got me to where I am today. To maybe take it a bit further, journalism is very rich. It's a very rich cause. Not to say it's an easy one, but it's very rich. It makes a lot of sense when you sit back and look at it. We have a very beautiful combination from public administration to law to political science to sociology to digital media. All of those things, when you put them together, you do realize, actually, this is the core things that I need to know, that I felt like they've been very wonderful in helping and shaping the person that I am today.
And now, fortunate enough, to get the opportunity to intern at the Municipal Council of Manzini. What have you learned from this experience, both professionally and just personally? Because you're being thrown into the workspace now. Your character is being tested maybe at times. How has it been for you?
First of all, I'd like to appreciate the Municipal Council of Manzini for taking me in as an intern. I've been there for a short while, but the things that I have learned, the things that I've learned, it's been amazing. The mentorship that they've been providing, they've been very welcoming to me and very patient, because you get to the workplace and you need someone to say, oh, okay, this is how we do things here, you know. First, the things that I feel we don't give it much attention to, you know. For example, punctuality, you know, punctuality is very important. And when you get to the workspace, you see that this is indeed a big deal, you know. And also how you conduct yourself, mannerism. Mannerism is everything. And I've learned something, how to implement strategy in everything you do, and the importance of structure and the hierarchy in things we do. You know, those are just a few things I've learned over the past few weeks that I've been with the municipality. And also, I'm a young person. It is very heartwarming to me to understand that organizations have, they have this wish that they can incorporate young people into their plans and into their vision. So for me, that has been very beautiful. I've participated in their community outreach services, which was beautiful. And then understanding just the vision of the organization has made me to be very passionate. Also because this is an organization that is not for profit, but it's an organization that is meant to serve the public, which is why I felt it aligned very well with the person that I am. Because I also look at myself and think of myself as one that is serving the public. So yes, I would really like to extend my gratitude to the Manzini Municipal Council.
All righty, thank you so much for that. You know, we'll get into, you know, serving the public and how you're currently doing it as Miss Eswatini when we come back from our commercial break. We talk more about, you know, pageantry, where it started and where it is today, but that is only when we return. We welcome you from the break. If you just tuned in, you are tuned in to Young Climber, and today we are telling the story of Temvelo, who is the current reigning Miss Eswatini. You know, got to unpack her life before pageantry, and of course now as an intern at the Municipal Council of Manzini, now we get into pageantry.
Oh my
where
God.
it all began. You know, let's talk about pageantry now. When you were first entered into Miss Buhleni, did you ever imagine that one day you'd actually wear the national crown?
No.
Let's talk about that journey, Miss Buhleni specifically. How it started, how you got into it.
With regards to my pageantry journey, I would like to first extend my gratitude to my family, to my close friends that have been supporting me since my very first. And now I'll take you through to my very first competition. So, she's a plan, and I hear that there's Miss Buhleni, the competition at Miss Buhleni, and trust me, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what was going there, what was expected of me. I didn't know. So my friend encourages me to say, go and try. And I'm like, and I think we're almost late. And I say to her, but I don't have a dress. What am I going to do? My friend then says, no, I'll put together a dress. I don't know whether she rented that dress. I don't know the story. But my friend just wanted to see me compete on that small stage. So when competition day came, at that time I remember very well, my family didn't come because I think it was still fresh to them.
Yeah.
And raising a kid and then next thing so I just think they didn't understand what was going on at the time. So I got there and we competed. First time I was confident and I enjoyed it. And I came as first princess, second runner-up. And then when we finished, there's the organizer that was the organizer for Miss Pixpic at the time.
Yes.
She was among the judging panel. So she came running to me and said, "You see what you did on the stage? I want you to go do it in Pixpic."
My goodness.
I'm just a young girl. I just arrived. What you mean? I said, I'm taking you. You're going to compete in Pixpic. And I'm like, okay. And then I went and competed in Pixpic, and I won as queen. Then I think now it's just starting to get a hold of things.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this is what's going on here. And then just understanding that pageantry is not just you walking the ramp. It's not just you looking pretty. That's just part of it. I wanted a way in which I can express myself, a way in which I can contribute, a way in which I can serve, and a way in which my opinions and my ideas can be heard. So I then started, I would contribute in cleanup campaigns, would go makishini, emahladleni, we'd cook, siyofusela bogogo. And I really can't say how that felt to me, but it was, my heart was full when I was doing all of those things. And then I went further to compete at Miss Northern Ho. When I competed at Miss Northern Ho, again I came second runner-up.
Girl, you were taking the regions on. Eh?
I came second runner-up.
Yeah.
And just when I finished Miss Pixpic, then I got accepted to come and pursue my BA in journalism at Goluseni. So when I got to Goluseni, now was the first year, say, oh, actually, I the moment I came in at school, everyone in my class knew, goes, oh, she's Miss Pixpic.
Yes.
And that's been on the news, So I think few weeks into varsity, I competed for Miss Freshers.
Yeah.
And then I won as Miss Freshers. And then I decided that I wanted to focus on my studies. Because even though I received support from my parents, who then came from the second competition, they started attending everything, Unlike that entry point at Miss Bushlane where they did not come. Miss Pixpic, they were present. My family was present. Miss Northern Hall, they were present.
Miss Freshers.
They were present. So now they were really starting to be part of my journey.
Yeah.
But I think they were worried that...
and I just want to break the story right there at the worried part because you did say, you spoke about Miss Freshers. Now was at a time where you were now pursuing your education. And honestly, you can't really say you'll balance being a pageant queen and your studies here and there. For you, what then motivated you to take up on Miss Eswatini? Knowing very well the pressure of being a pageant queen and, the job that is required of you during your reign.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. So I'll take it back to after Miss Freshers, I never competed until it was Miss Eswatini. Why? Because we had a meeting and we had a very long chat with my parents to say, Sisi, we understand you love doing that, but it's also very important that you back it with education.
Yeah.
Because then it's always a better combination than you just doing that. So I agreed to say, okay, just take on school. And then while I was focusing at that, COVID came. I remember I was still training Miss Pixpic because there was a time I couldn't host events. So I stayed as Miss Pixpic for a good 3 years. So that was fun because it allowed me time to push my academics. And at the same time, if I wanted the crowd, I still had a crowd. You know. So it was until last year when I felt the pressure of my studies was getting better. And then I was not even thinking I would join Miss Eswatini. So my mother says to me, you should join. And I'm like, girl, you again? No, you should join. But because I was demotivated because I thought, girl, at some point I heard you say I must just focus on my studies. What are you saying now? She's like, no, you should. I think you should join. I dragged my feet and dragged my feet and dragged my feet and dragged my feet.
Imagine a whole you.
A whole me. I was dragging my feet. And my mom was like, girl, you'll join the competition. Until,
okay, I'll do it for you.
I went there with just that. At the time, I think my priorities had shifted. It had shifted a bit because I was just like, okay, I had grown love for entrepreneurship as well, starting a business, having my business. So that was going on in my mind. It was just, I must have something. I must be selling something. That was going on in my mind at school. So now my mom comes and says, no, actually, let's revisit that pageantry love of yours. And let's have you join this competition. And I joined the competition and she was very supportive. Very supportive.
And now, fast forward to the time where it's the unforgettable night. I'll just skip to the good part, after being encouraged to join the competition, and now you're at a place where it's the big moment. It's the unforgettable night through all the experiences, going through social media, scrutiny. You made it to the top. Can you just take us back to the moment that you were crowned Miss Eswatini?
It was a beautiful moment. I think I had my cream like this.
Yeah.
When we're waiting for
something to happen.
Now it's just 3 of us girls on stage, and now we're just waiting for them to say, Miss Eswatini is candidate number so and so and so, or so and so. And then I'm just there like, when you have your teeth together like this and you're just waiting for that moment.
What if I lose?
At that time, I just want this to be over and done with. It was a beautiful moment. On the night, I remember I wore red shoes. They tore on stage. And that's the very same shoe I wore till the end of the competition, because I felt like they were comfortable. But also for me, I feel like there's so much resilience that I represent, So at that time, everything, I knew that I had done everything that I could possibly do at the very best level. So I was like, whether I win or not. And we had undergone a mental prep, I think all of us girls, to say it's really not about you looking better than, or you can do the work better than.
The fact that you tried, you took the leap of faith.
Right?
I love that.
So we had already gone through that. So it didn't matter who won, really.
Yes.
We were there as winners. So at that moment, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I screamed.
Did I hear right?
And I'm wearing the number 1 tag. So, and now, Miss Eswatini 2024, 2025 is contest the number 1. I think I went that direction and I went that direction. And my mom is on the side and she's screaming and she's raising hands. And everyone that was in full support of me. Oh no, it was hugs and kisses. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. I really, really felt love from Eswatini. I really felt appreciated. And for that, Eswatini, they've been supportive. even those that don't know me, maybe on a very personal level.
Yeah.
I really appreciate their efforts.
And the key thing is that, you know, you're a woman who's inspired by other women, especially Lana Ekaya Eswatini. You did mention that you're inspired by the likes of Magi Sylvia Mthethwa and the Honorable Minister Savannah Mazia. What qualities do you admire the most, you know, just briefly from them?
Sylvia Mthethwa appeals to my entrepreneurship love because she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And for that, I love her.
Yeah.
Honorable Savannah she's a businesswoman as well.
Yes, she is.
But there's something I like to her. I like more about her, other than the business side of it. I love her intellect.
Yes.
And I think she's a very wise woman.
And now the infamous question. What legacy do you hope to leave behind as Mrs. Eswatini? And what kind of woman do you hope to become after the reign of Miss Eswatini?
Temvelo.
Yes.
Temvelo. I'd like to make a significant contribution in the conservation of imvelo yethu. Not only that, but also be a pioneer in combating issues like climate change, incorporating Bangla more into agricultural spaces, still that pulls into the whole idea of entrepreneurship. But I want to do it because Temvelo, and that is what I stand for. Authentic and indigenous.
You know, lengo from this is maybe usatobuyela le agribusiness yakho.
I will. I mean, it was my first love, but I just needed to know how to communicate it.
Yeah.
Because I think lengo funzile, I've learned to express myself.
To be a better
communicator. But now at least I can communicate it.
Yeah. Well, in the interest of time, I'd just like to thank you for joining us here on Young Climber. You know, we hope that you continue to shine your light as much as you can to the young people of Eswatini and, you know, contribute positively through the work that you're doing and will continue to do after your success of Miss Eswatini. And I say, you finished. You finished it.
No.
Or you're still aiming for the sky?
No. The sky is not even the limit. I'm still going to look.
Miss Universe.
I'm not.
Yes. You know, it gets bigger and better. But that is obviously a story for another day. Thank you, Temvelo, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Tibabogele Makaya, that was Miss Eswatini, Temvelo Mthethwa. You know, the sky is not even the limit with her. But we'll continue to unfold more stories next week. But for this one, we do have to love and leave you. From myself, Belo Nkosi, and the team, it is good night and God bless.